brothers. What's up?
Chilling, man. So, we had a request, right? To just like, well, we wanted to show people our new straps, right?
Yeah, we have these beautiful straps with the Q Brothers logo, sort of,
What do you call that? You would know the word for this.
I don't know, impressed, emblazoned. I don't
Emblazoned?
It's not emblazoned, I don't think. But
what would you call that if it was like on glass or metal?
My brain is failing me today.
You always know the word for
I know.
something. Like it's beveled. It's got a...
Not beveled, I don't know.
No, I'm saying like, you always know that like weird word.
Embossed.
Embossed. That's the word we're looking for.
Yeah. Anyway, it has our logo.
Emblazoned.
Embossed. Emblazoned.
I like that one. Maybe that's true. I don't know.
The emblazoned involves heat, I think.
These are also USA made.
Yeah, totally US made leather. So we have an English bridal leather, black one, Latigo leather, maroon one. They both have cotton linen straps, which are beautiful.
Back straps, yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, that was weird. A ghost is in here. They've got really nice solid hardware on them. They're USA made. Look at the rivets on these things. The handles are just nice.
They're really strong. So let me tell you, I've been now our in-house honing and sharpening guy for years, right?
Yeah.
And I would estimate that I've done, you know, I don't know, 1,000 razors maybe sharpened. These are fantastic. I've been using this for all of them lately. It's like the leather's tough. It seems to sharpen up really well on these. I really like it. So like,
I like to hone to take out the burrs and things, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about, because what we'd like to do is we'd like to soon in the future do videos showing the whole honing process as taught to us by Lynn Abrams and kind of what we do and Jay.
For sure. But in the meantime, most people aren't gonna get all the stones and soak them and hone themselves. But what they can do is have must do is strap it before each use, you know.
Yeah.
And that if you're doing that correctly, the hone should last quite a long time, depending on how often you shave. You know, it's different.
Yeah.
But the idea is basically on the inside of the nylon cotton side, you're going to put chromium oxide. You can use that as a paste. We currently have. I prefer the crayons. We're gonna get some, I think, but it's the simplest way because the paste can be more difficult to evenly spread. And so when you have this big crayon that's flat on the bottom, it's easy to just.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you just cover it so that it's green. You don't want it to like chunk up. Just like a nice even green coating. Yeah. And it will last about a dozen times. Maybe like a dozen. If I'm doing
a dozen razors.
Yeah. So you only need to do that every 12 times you sharpen, right? You strop, I should say. So that's on the inside. So where you put your O-ring, or where you put the hook, you know, if you don't want to use the O-ring, you want to hook in that way, or if you want to hook in that way, whichever way it is, you want that on. In a place where you can throw this over the other way. Because if this has to lay to the side, it's difficult it gets in the way.
So you want it close to the top of a table or a counter,
whatever it is. Yeah. And so it's like that's the best way to do it. And so it's like this, and that part will hang over.
Yeah,
so if you hold that there, and then all you need to do once you put the chromium oxide is take the razor. Don't open it with your mouth. And what you want to do, this is all blade trailing. So the blade side trailing.
Always.
Always from whenever you're on the strap.
Yeah.
So one.
And show the flip too, because I think a lot of people when they demonstrate in the store, they're like, oh, I'm going to do this. Then they flip over the edge of the blade, which is wrong.
So you can do this. But it's not recommended. And you will end up making cuts and nicks in your strap, and it will compromise how well your blade, how well you can strap at some point. But basically, you're making a little X stroke, so hold it a little bit that way, and then hold the leather back. It's okay. Yeah. So you're gonna go.
But with the 3-inch, you don't really need.
You don't really need to, but it's still there's a natural kind of when you do it a ton. there's a natural kind of slight X stroke that happens anyway, because you're just used to doing it that way. But basically, you're doing this. One, you flip it on its spine and back. And you're putting quite a bit of pressure. So this is pulling as hard as, not as hard as you can, but still it's taut. And you should feel it give just a little bit as you push down. So one, so you do that 5 times. That's it, on the chromium oxide side. 5 times.
And this is only every so often. This is when you need to sharpen it a little bit. When you're not going to take it back to a full hone, but when you're having a mild sharpening effect, right?
Right. So,
so how often, so like what you're doing is you're starting with the chromium oxide. If you just have a freshly honed razor, you're not doing any chromium oxide for a number of shaves, right?
Yeah, it depends. It's a feel thing.
Yeah.
So I don't.
What I mean is I don't want to confuse people
that
they think that they need to do that every single time. I don't think most people.
Probably not. No. Yeah. Then what you do is you take the leather back over, you flip it, and just the clean strap side, the clean nylon side.
Clean linen.
Yeah. Sorry. The last.
That's okay. Before you do this, let me take this hair off there.
And then you're going to do the same thing that you just did, but with no chromium oxide on it, right? So you would wipe it in between, so that you're not rubbing chromium oxide on the clean side. But then it's I do it 15 times. 15
back and forth.
Yeah.
Back and forth is 1.
Yeah. This is 1.
Okay. So 15 times.
And then 50 times on the leather side. 1, 2. 3.
Okay, so
50 times.
50 times. And so, let's say you're starting with a freshly honed razor.
Everyone will have different numbers. Let me just say that.
I understand, but I'm just saying your personal thing is that you're doing 15 and 50. That would be a normal, like, hey, I shaved, and before I shave the next time, I'm doing 15 and 50. Then when you notice it's starting to lose a little bit, you're going to the chromium oxide and doing that.
Maybe every 3, 4.
Okay.
And then everyone has their own way.
Yeah.
This is what I've noticed anyway. And then when that isn't working anymore, then I would either get a 12,000 grit stone and do 10 strokes on that, then the chromium oxide, then the clean, then this, and then so if somebody wants to get into it, that's how you get into it. So and then when the 12,000 doesn't do it, you buy a 5/8 combo. And you buy the 5/8 combo stone, and then you do, 40 with no pressure on the 5, and then 10 strokes on the 8, then 10 strokes on the 12, then the chromium oxide, then the clean, then the leather. Then when that doesn't work,
you go back.
You get the 1,000, you set a new bevel.
Yeah, but let's say just for the guys who want, let's say you're not interested in a stone. This is a great, you need a great strop, and they talk about this one having a medium draw. Is that what would you agree? Like in other words, it's not, because sometimes we sell some straps that are so shiny that it's like, it just is like glides on there like ice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and this one is a good level of like shine and sort of like hardness to it.
A little bit, yeah. But with a little bit of
and it still has a little give and a little pull.
Yeah. Medium draw, right?
Yeah, I would put it. I guess I didn't know that's a term for it, but yeah, I guess that's what I like about it so much. I use ones that are so soft that I don't know. There's something like I like something hard to press it against,
but not so hard,
and then not so hard that I'm having a hard time, and it's just kind of feels like I'm glossing past it.
Yeah.
So I really do like the strap. I think it's great,
and I think the price is good too, right? We have them at like $75.
They're really good, and when you start to look at high quality straps that are in this sort of range, this is a bang for the buck for sure. So enjoy. And then, make sure you have, just as a little side note, make sure you have some Vaseline and, cover the edge of the blade between shaves, and so that, if there was some moisture on the blade that you didn't see when you wiped it down, that you're not compromising it or it's going to rust, and then you go, oh, this new razor rust, how did that happen?
I know, that's, I would say, like, that's the thing that bums me out the most is when guys buy, it happens every so often, the guy buys a razor, a beautiful, beautiful razor from us, and he comes back 2 weeks later and he's like, look, there's rust spots on it, it's faulty, and I think the answer is there was water on there when it's left, and sometimes it can be microscopic, but this is really,
really, really, really cannot get it in the hinge.
Yeah, and
you can't get water out of the hinge.
No.
So if you're going to run it underwater, you have to be very careful and block it with your hand.
Well, and water on the inside, you can't really clean it outside of the inside of the handle. So sometimes a little droplet sitting on there, you close it, it's so close, and the moisture gets it.
So it's really, I actually don't run it underwater. I know some people do. I've seen other videos where people do, but I just wipe it down.
Yeah.
I just wipe it down.
And then clean it, and then put use some mineral oil or Vaseline. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You guys, that's something to keep in mind. And this razor is beautiful, by the way.
The To Use A Strop. These are
To Use A Strop. I love them.
And I have honed this one already. We've been pre-honing now.
Yeah.
Because people just want them honed anyway, so I'm just doing the inventory. But these ones they hone up so nicely.
I know. They're gorgeous.
I get to test each one too, and it's just like, these are my favorite.
We have a bunch on the way to us right now. I'm really excited about it. Yeah,
this holiday should be big for them. So anyway, enjoy 5-15-50.